Good morning, everybody. My name is Meow Meow Mill, and welcome to Coffee Thoughts, where I drink coffee and talk about whatever comes to my mind in the morning. Everyone have their coffee? Is everybody ready? Well, ready or not, because here we go. This is Gus. I sometimes drink coffee from his head. And alright, everybody, it is story time. And today's story involves one of our most favorite people in the whole entire world, Ajit Pai. Yay! Now, once upon a time in the land of 2017. Do I have to do this? Yes, now shut up. Now, back in April of 2017, Ajit Pai and his aides led the FCC to come up with a new set of rules allowing television broadcasters to own as many stations as they wanted. Weeks after this new rule was approved, a broadcasting company by the name Sinclair Broadcasting, a Maryland-based company, announced that they were going to buy out Tribune Media for $3.9 billion. It seems like an excessive amount, in my opinion. How is that bad? Well, I'll tell you, Gus. As 2017 was coming close to the end, the FCC's internal watchdog group began an investigation against Pai and his aides to see if something was suspicious going on about this deal that Sinclair had made, because it seemed a little suspicious that weeks after Sinclair drops this bomb. Representative of New Jersey, Frank Payon, and a few other members of Congress saw this and ordered an investigation on the relationship that Pai and his aides had with the Sinclair executives. Now, Payon has said that he had been trying to get to the bottom of these allegations about the chairman Pai and his relationship with Sinclair Broadcasting. And it brings up his concerns that Pai may have coordinated this new rule with Sinclair. Now, he has also stated that I am grateful to the FCC's Inspector General that he has decided to take up this important investigation. Now, the FCC does have their own Inspector General. They are a nonpartisan role that is run by David Hunt. Now, he does regular updates and check-ins with Congress, as well as tells them any investigations that he is involved in. But didn't Congress tell him to perform the investigation? Shh. Yes. When Congress told him to investigate Pai and his aides, Hunt was told to go through all communications, personal emails, social media, text messages, and phone calls, because they're trying to figure out just the relationship between Pai, his aides, and Sinclair Broadcasting. Now, the extent of this investigation and the duration of this investigation is unknown right now. David Hunt has refused to make any comments of this investigation, which is pretty understandable. It's technically under investigation, and I guess he is treating it like a police investigation. You can't give out any details too much. Now, so far, Sinclair Broadcasting and Ajit Pai have refused to comment. What a surprise! They've refused to comment on these allegations. Now, Pai is in an interesting position right now, and he may have to answer the biggest question of, was this new rule coordinated with Sinclair Broadcasting? And is he in on this deal? Did he get paid off just to do this or something? I think he did. But then again, I wouldn't put it past him. Now, even if Pai has refused to respond, his lackey, the spokesman for the FCC, had a lot to say by starting off with that these allegations were baseless. That's what they all say until it goes horribly wrong, just like in the movies. He's also said that for many years, Chairman Pai has called on the FCC to update its media ownership regulations. Apparently, Pai is sticking to his views and has given a strong case for modernizing these rules. Now, if that wasn't saying much, he's also said, it's not surprising that those who disagree with him would prefer to do whatever they can to distract from the merits of his proposal. Like Pai is as innocent as the pure-driven snow. What's that, Gus? What's gonna happen to him? Well, that's a good question. Now give me coffee. It's unsure what exactly is going to happen to him once this investigation ends, or even if anything is going to come up. He may have a clean slate. You have to look at it from both sides because this is an allegation. Meaning, I'm sorry, but in the court of law, even though this probably isn't going to go to court, he is innocent until proven guilty. That burned my tongue saying that. But if Pai is found using his position inappropriately, now that makes his intentions for cutting out net neutrality very suspicious. Even though this has nothing to do with net neutrality, it will put a dark shadow over him, making it seem really suspicious and make people wonder about the net neutrality debate and what's in it for him. I just think he's a dick and he's in it for the money. That's just me. Now, what is this new rule? This new rule you can find on the FCC website. I will have it down below in the description on the FCC's website in the broadcast ownership rules section under the subsection of national television ownership. Give me a second. Thank you, Gus. Now, this rule states that it does not limit any entity the number of television stations they can own nationwide, just as long as the station group collectively reaches no more than 39% of all American households. Now, what I think that means is, for example, I can own a couple stations on the East Coast. I can own a couple stations on the West Coast. And I can have a couple spread out in the middle. Now, I can own as many of these stations as long as I do not reach that 39% magic number. Why didn't they go for an even 40? Fucking OCD. What do I think of it? Oh, I think Ajit Pai is in some pretty deep shit right now. It looks awfully suspicious on why he wanted to eliminate net neutrality. And now he's under investigation for this new broadcasting rule that pretty much, if I understand, lets a broadcaster almost have a monopoly while not having a monopoly at the same time. I think he's gonna get into a lot of trouble. As well as I think that this may be the saving grace for net neutrality if it turns out that he used his power inappropriately. Now, what exactly is going to happen is still unknown. Like I've said, the investigation isn't over yet. That and Pai refuses to talk, which I think speaks a lot about his character. With Ajit Pai not saying anything actually speaks a lot. It either means that he is, one, freaking out and trying to cover his tracks. He's trying to come up with a good enough lie to make himself look clean. Or two, he's bear with me, he's innocent and he's not going to acknowledge these accusations. But I think we all believe that he is guilty. Especially me. I think he's guilty. He's the scumbag of the earth. Now, what should happen if he's found to have acted inappropriately? Well, I think he should be fired. I think he should be fined. He should be locked away. Because probably how this new rule got enacted was someone offered him money just to change the rules to benefit them. Sinclair offered him money so that they could have what they wanted. I think Ajit Pai may do jail time for accepting a bribe. And I think that's what's happening with net neutrality right now. He accepted a bribe from these big corporations like Verizon, Spectrum, AT&T. He's accepting bribes just so that those companies have a bigger platform. And it's a shame that someone with that much power can do such a thing. But that's just my opinion. And I think he is the scummiest man in the world. Now, as of right now, Sinclair Broadcasting and Ajit Pai have said nothing still, and I've been working on this story since February 15. That's when this story broke out in the New York Times. And it's what? It's been several days since I started doing research on this story. So, oh man, this is a long time without saying anything about these accusations, gentlemen. You would think that they would have the balls to at least say what the FCC spokesman, or lackey, spokesman was right, said that they were baseless. You would think that they would have the balls to say that themselves. Or even Sinclair Broadcasting would have said something. But no, they don't have the gall to say anything. That's a little disappointing. And because of this new rule for broadcasters and everything that looks so suspicious with it, and it looks suspicious because of the timing, and it has been found that Sinclair and Ajit Pai and his aides had contact with each other before this new rule. Now, all the investigator general David Hunt is doing is gathering evidence right now, because it's already been found they've had contact with each other. Now, David Hunt has to gather that evidence and take it to Congress. Whew. I really hope Pai goes to jail, because this would be a real pie in his face. Oh god, that was a horrible joke. Was that funny? Was that funny? No? Are you done with my shenanigans? Gus would laugh if he were alive. Oh, Mr. Pai, sending your lackey out to say what you should be saying. That's a real shame, sir. It would suck that all of your so-called hard work didn't pay off. It would be a shame if you lost your net neutrality battle. Even though it has nothing to do with this, but it has everything to do with it. Alright kids, I am all out of coffee. This is the inside of Gus's head. If you liked whatever I blurted out, or just liked watching me rant, hit that like button down below and do subscribe. I'm gonna try and do more news stories. Hopefully not as extensive as this one, because holy crap. So do subscribe. Why not? I won't hurt you. Coffee for your thoughts. Leave a comment down below and do share with your friends, share with your family. In fact, I highly suggest it. You may want to give them this warning that I think I contained myself fairly well in this. I do cuss a lot. And do follow me on Twitter. I will be trying as fucking hard as I can to post more on it. And I will see all of you beautiful people in the next video. This really wasn't my outro. But oh well, we're working with it. Cheers.